Glory and honor to our heavenly Creator, the Heavenly One, the eternal, everlasting One of heaven. Praises be to thee. Greetings, everyone. Today we're going to teach the letter T from the King James Version Bible. We are going to teach T. T as in tone, as in toe, as in teeth, as in talk, as in to, t, 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 t. T makes one sound, and that is t, t, t. T is written like this. Uppercase T is like that. Lowercase t is like this. T. This is how you write T in cursive or join up, they call it. In Jamaica, join up. In America, they call it cursive. It's T. 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 Uppercase T and lowercase t. T. T as in tent. T is the 20th letter of the English alphabet. T. T is the 22nd, well, not T. T is the reflection of the Tav in the ancient Paleo-Hebrew alphabet. So, in the ancient language, you had Tav. Today that Tav became T, or T mimics in some way the Tav. So we're going to talk about the Tav now. The Tav is written like this. Tav. That's the last letter of the Paleo-Hebrew alphabet, or what they would call an alphabet. And it also represents a seal. That's the end of the alphabet. That's the seal. It represents a sign or a signature or a signet. So, in the ancient Paleo-Hebrew alphabet, all the letters had a representative in nature. So you got Aleph, that represented a cow, that represented the ox, cow's head, strength, the father. And you had Beit, that represented a house. And then you had You had some more. You had Lamed represented camel, and you had all the letters represented something. There was a physical thing in nature that you could point to and say, this is. There's a physical thing in nature that you could point to that you could say, this represent that particular letter. Until you come to the Tav, the last letter. There isn't nothing in nature that you could say Tav is. You gotta write Tav. Tav is the sign. Tav is the seal. It represents the end. Just like when a king wrote a letter or a note or something and he sealed it, that's the end. There's nothing to be added to it. He sealed it with his signet, with his mark. That's the end. When the Heavenly One, the Omnipotent, created everything, each day he created something, and he named it, and he said it was good. He said the day that he created it, and then on the last day, he created nothing. He used that day as a seal, as a sign, as a signet on his creation. He set that day apart. And he also used that day as a sign today with his people to set them apart. Now, the Tav is something similar. It is a sign, and it doesn't have a physical representative in nature. It represents the seal of the king, or the sign. And there you have it, the Tav. Kind of look like an X marks the spot. Also look like a cross. With Christ, our Savior, which was the last. And the seal. And so, Tav, the 20th letter of the English language, of the English alphabet, the 22nd letter of the ancient Paleo Hebrew alphabet. T, that's the sound it makes.